Here, SpongeBob's scariest episodes. The last part is scarier. Okay, the first episode, Planet of the Jellyfish. It all begins on a quiet, peaceful day in Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob is out jellyfishing like always, and everything seems normal. Until it's not. He spots a weird-looking jellyfish floating toward him. This one isn't like the others. It's dark, eerie, and has a strange glow. SpongeBob, being SpongeBob, is super excited and decides to take it home as his new pet. He even names it No Name again. That night, SpongeBob goes to sleep, but something doesn't feel right. As he lays down, the jellyfish slowly floats toward him. It hovers over his bed, and then suddenly opens its mouth to reveal sharp, terrifying, monster-like teeth. SpongeBob wakes up just in time. He can't sleep, and decides to watch a scary movie instead, completely unaware that this horror flick mirrors exactly what's happening right behind him. The jellyfish creeps up again, just seconds away from attacking, but SpongeBob survives the night without knowing how close he came to becoming one of them. The next morning, SpongeBob heads to work and casually leaves the jellyfish at home with Gary. Big mistake, because the moment SpongeBob leaves, the jellyfish goes full alien mode and takes over Gary too. The screen fades to black, and when we see Gary again, he's not Gary anymore. SpongeBob arrives at the Krusty Krab, but something is off. Everyone is acting weird. Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, they're all smiling the exact same way. Their eyes are vacant, and they all keep ordering cow patties without mayonnaise, over and over again. That's when it hits. These aren't SpongeBob's friends. They're clones, controlled, possessed. This is the point where things go from weird to terrifying. These creatures aren't individuals anymore. They share a hive mind. They're all acting as one. And the scariest part, SpongeBob finally realizes what's going on when he sees a jellyfish leap out of a clone's mouth and infect someone else. The whole town is under invasion. Bikini Bottom isn't safe. No one is who they seem to be. Desperate, SpongeBob runs to Sandy's tree dome, hoping she hasn't been infected. Luckily, she's still herself because she's been watching the chaos from her dome and preparing for a fight. She builds a special light beam device that reveals the true form of the clones and destroys the jellyfish inside them. Sandy and SpongeBob team up for one last stand. They storm the Krusty Krab and blast the clones with the light, turning them back into their original selves. One by one, Bikini Bottom is freed from the alien jellyfish control. But the battle isn't over yet. The queen jellyfish appears, larger and creepier than anything before. It looks like all hope is lost. But SpongeBob steps up. With quick thinking and Sandy's invention, they manage to trap the queen and destroy her. The hive mind collapses. Everyone wakes up, confused but safe. Bikini Bottom is finally back to normal. Or as normal as it gets. Planet of the Jellyfish isn't just a creepy episode. It's a full-on horror invasion story hidden inside a kid's cartoon. The episode begins with another normal day at the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob is cleaning, happily doing his job as always, while Squidward stands behind the cash register, clearly bored out of his mind. Everything seems ordinary, until Mr. Krabs barges in, announcing that the Krusty Krab will now be open 24 hours a day. At first, SpongeBob is thrilled. He's excited to work late into the night, convinced that nighttime will bring all sorts of fun and new experiences. Squidward, on the other hand, is horrified. He knows staying up all night with SpongeBob is going to be torture. As the night creeps in, the atmosphere inside the Krusty Krab shifts. The bright warm colors of the daytime are gone, replaced by cold, dark blues and eerie shadows. Squidward, bored and annoyed, decides to play a prank on SpongeBob. He invents a scary story about the hash-slinging slasher, a former Krusty Krab fry cook who was fired and met a gruesome fate. According to Squidward's story, the ghost of the slasher returns every Tuesday night swinging his rusty spatula, looking for revenge. As Squidward describes the terrifying details, the visuals get darker and more ominous. The kitchen looks abandoned and creepy. The lights flicker. Strange noises echo in the background. SpongeBob naturally believes every word and becomes increasingly terrified. He clings to every detail, asking Squidward anxious questions, making the story even scarier in his mind. Squidward laughs to himself, thinking it's just a harmless joke. But then, the weirdness begins. The lights start flickering exactly how Squidward described. The phone rings by itself, but when Squidward answers, there's only heavy breathing on the other end. Even more unsettling, They notice strange footprints made of ketchup leading into the restaurant. Every creepy event Squidward made up is somehow happening exactly as he said. The fear starts to take over. SpongeBob is shaking. Squidward, who was so confident before, now begins to doubt if his story was just a story after all. He tries to reason it out, telling SpongeBob and himself that it's just coincidences, but the tension keeps building. Then, they both notice the front doors swinging open and a dark figure slowly approaching the Krusty Krab. It's a shadowy silhouette, moving unnaturally, getting closer and closer with each flicker of the lights. SpongeBob and Squidward completely lose it. SpongeBob screams, Squidward screams. They clutch each other in terror, convinced the hash-slinging slasher has finally come for them. But when the figure is finally revealed under the light, it's just a teenager. A super nerdy kid who was looking for a job application. The terrifying silhouette, the creepy behavior. It was all just the kid's awkwardness. SpongeBob wakes up, bright and cheerful as ever, getting ready for another day of work at the Krusty Krab. But before he leaves, he lovingly checks on Gary, his loyal pet snail. Gary looks a little sad, a little bored, and SpongeBob instantly feels guilty. Maybe Gary is lonely when he's gone all day? Later that day, at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob can't stop worrying about Gary. Every second he's flipping patties, he's thinking about how sad and alone Gary must be. The idea eats away at him until he decides Gary needs a friend, someone to keep him company when SpongeBob isn't home. After work, SpongeBob rushes to the pet store, bursting with excitement. He scans the shelves and cages, looking for the perfect companion. That's when he spots it. A strange little creature called a Puffy Fluffy. The pet shop owner gives a few vague warnings. It's a special pet that needs special care, but SpongeBob barely listens. He's too focused on how happy Gary's going to be. Back at home, SpongeBob introduces Puffy Fluffy to Gary with the biggest grin on his face. Gary, however, is terrified. He hisses, recoils, and tries to back away. SpongeBob doesn't understand. He scolds Gary for being rude and insists that they become friends. The night falls. The lights go out. SpongeBob happily drifts off to sleep, convinced that his two pets are bonding nearby. But deep in the darkness, Puffy Fluffy begins to change. His sweet little face twists and warps into something monstrous. His eyes glow red. Sharp fangs sprout from his gums. Tentacles snake out from his body. Gary watches in horror as Puffy Fluffy transforms from a cute little critter into a nightmare. Gary tries to get away, but Puffy Fluffy slithers after him, growing larger and more terrifying with every second. But SpongeBob just mumbles in his sleep, dreaming peacefully while chaos unfolds around him. The next morning, SpongeBob wakes up completely oblivious. He surveys the wreckage of his home, scratches on the walls, broken vases, claw marks across the floors, and blames Gary for the mess. In SpongeBob's mind, poor Puffy Fluffy must have been terrorized by Gary all night. SpongeBob realizes that it has turned into a yucca, and it wants to eat Gary. SpongeBob tells the monster to stop, and warns him, but the monster grabs SpongeBob in its mouth. Gary hits him with a hook to make SpongeBob let go. Together they throw him out of the house and they succeed. SpongeBob takes Gary to the crab restaurant with Hugh, and Mr. Krabs, as we know, loves money and asks Gary to cook for him. So these are the 3 scariest episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants, and I'm saying SpongeBob SquarePants is not a scary cartoon, and I've prepared 3 of the best ones for you. I hope you enjoyed watching the video. You can choose an option to watch more videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any animation mistakes or reviews. See you in the next video.